Good Monday morning. This is January 3rd, 2022, and we've got some weather for you here, for you pilots. And we're going to start out looking here at the low-level significant weather chart. And looking at the time period here, the valid time was 00 Zulu, or is going to be 00 Zulu on Tuesday the 4th. So that would really be, backtrack that for your conversion from Zulu time for the Eastern time zone. That's a -5 this time of year. So we're looking at 7 o'clock in the evening Eastern time on this one. You all can do your math. Don't need my help on that. And just looking at the Prague chart again, this is valid for 7 o'clock tonight. So looking forward, basically, we have marginal weather up the eastern seaboard here. I know right now it's probably worse than that. And then we got IFR, but that's out off the coast. For you landlubbers, that's not going to be a problem for you. We also have turbulence over here in the mid-Atlantic states. Looks like moderate turbulence around 18,000. Don't know if that's below. I don't have the slash on that. Maybe we need to zoom in just a little, make sure. It might be covered up here. Not seeing it, so we'll move on. In fact, just to show you out here to the west, 10,000 and below, because they have the slash on it there. And looking further around the country, we also have some marginal VFR projected here up through North Dakota into Minnesota. And we got, again, 18,000 below, moderate turbulence 16,000 and below, and 24,000 and below up here in Idaho. We've got pretty strong IFR section right here with marginal surrounding it all the way around here. And you also notice here your freezing levels, looking across freezing levels at the surface. That zigzag line is freezing level at the surface as it shows down here in the key. And it looks like, boy, that's stretching quite a ways south, really, down into southern Nevada, across here. Takes a little jump up here above Texas, Kansas, and Nebraska area. And it dips back down southern Missouri all the way down to southern Tennessee. It was earlier today. In fact, I think now is dipping down into Alabama. So watch out for those freezing levels when you're in that visible moisture and in the clouds, things of that nature. All of that is visible. Precip, so keep an eye on all that good stuff. Even up here in the Canucks here, 14,000 down to 8,000 basically is what we're looking at on the moderate turbulence there as well. Projecting ahead, that's the 12-hour. Projecting ahead the 24-hour, we're going to have wide areas of marginal VFR stretching all the way here from Wisconsin west, all the way to the coast here, parts of Montana, all of Idaho, and you got Nevada here, a lot of California, up through Washington are going to be in the marginal VFR. Lots of turbulence projected, 18,000 and below here, 8,000 and below here, 12,000, 10,000 here is where they're calling it. Not seeing much else than that. Freezing level again is well to the south is what we're noticing here as well. And we got this pocket of IFR right down here. Got a feeling that's kind of a fog situation. And that is what they're projecting there for 1200 Zulu, or 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Eastern time, that is. Do your math. So that's going to be 4 o'clock over on the west coast. All right. Moving on. Let's shrink this down just a little bit and out. And let's go find our surface. Let's go into Prague charts. This is all on aviationweather.gov. Great site to just get a nice overview of the weather, and that's all I'm trying to do here. By the way, my name is John, and I am CFII. I am not a meteorologist. This is for entertainment purposes only. All right, looking here, let's zoom in just a little bit, get the lower 48 here on here, and that's what we're mainly covering on this channel is the lower 48. We've got this double low pressure system that's sweeping up right now, causing all sorts of problems. We got quite a ridge here of high pressure just all the way through here. We've got troughs of low pressure hanging down all along here. across the mid to western section. And of course, we got this occluded front coming in with a stationary front not far from it, and a low pressure system here. I'm not sure, there must be a low pressure system up somewhere around Alaska somewhere that this cold occluded front and trailing cold front are coming out of, and you can see it zipping up right here over southern parts of Washington. So you got a lot of stuff going on as far as that's concerned. Looks like right now they're showing you folks fairly well in the clear with high pressure dominating, but this storm is moving up northeastward, and I believe it is going to move out to sea, but not before it nicks you a little bit with possibly some IFR or snowfall with accumulation. That can always be a problem in the morning when you want to go flying and the runway's not clear. Check those condition codes for sure. Moving through here, we've got a triple high pressure system right in the middle here along with some troughs. You're going to have some windiness right around these areas. You can see the tight isobars sitting there, and of course the tight isobars around this storm system right here. And let's move ahead here on this. Actually, let's click on that so that we zoom into that. That is not wanting to zoom in like I'd like it to. Let's go back out of that. Let's try again. Maybe if we zoom out. That's better. That's what I was actually going for. So now we're going to jump ahead. And you can see what's going on right now precipitation-wise. You've got snow, and they are calling for, a significant amount of snow, at least shovelable. Up through there, we got lots of garbage, mix, snow, all sorts of stuff. And you can see with that occluded front and with that pressure system, not looking like a good time to fly in the northwest today. Moving ahead, advancing the time, and that, of course, is for 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Eastern time, looking at the west there, that's looking at about 4 o'clock, or sorry, go back the other way, 10 o'clock in the morning is what that is, which we're getting past that point now. Moving ahead, that just seems to want to languish there and hold out there. You can see that's going to be, let's see, UB -8, so I believe that's 4 in the afternoon is what you're looking at. Moving ahead, looks like that low pressure system is moving out and not much of a problem here by 7 o'clock in the evening. And actually that is, yeah, that's going through this evening on the 3rd. Gets confusing because they put it in universal time and it's showing tomorrow's date, but if you backtrack, it was taken in today. And that's, you can see it's moved out. High pressure has moved in to dominate, looking pretty good. Winds overall not too bad at that time period. Now I do expect it to start to tighten up and get a little bit windier, but nothing too horrendous here in the east. You can see your storm system is still just holding out here. And that again, that is 12 o'clock universal time tomorrow. So that's about 4 in the morning for you folks out there in the northwest. Lower half of the south looking pretty good with high pressure dominating out of this trough of low pressure. Not super tight isobars. In sections it is. I think you're going to see a lot of wind hitting around there. Moving on. So this is looking at later Tuesday evening. And that again, this is just stalled out there basically and just hitting you guys hard. And into Wednesday morning here. Again, some of it's moved off. You've had a little bit of replacement, but you still got this stationary front just keeping this garbage right here. Got this cold front here. It's still looking pretty gnarly as far as the weather's concerned. And now we've got this Alberta Clipper starting to move into the north, mid to eastern section of the country here. This low pressure system. Lots of weather going on there too, expecting a bit of IFR there too. All right, we've kind of exhausted that. Let's take a look at Sky Vector. And you can see right now currently, and let's just refresh this here. So currently, that's what we're looking at. And let's change the wind layer because I like to cover the winds. Let's talk about the winds at the surface first. So let's pull it down to the surface. And winds are mainly out of the north today. You got 15 up here, and that is looking in It's hard to see where we are. That's got to be in the New England area, out of the north at 15, moving west here. You're seeing 20 to 25. So that's a decent amount of wind there. Over here, over in Ohio, 10 to 15 out of the north as well. And moving south here, lots of icing situations going on around this system. If you don't have to fly, it may not be a good time to fly in this area. And we move through. Again, they're calling for icing. That's what this is, and that's the one marker that I have up. I know this was extending down almost into Alabama. That's, in fact, I believe we are Anniston, Alabaster. Anyway, it's stretching far south here with these freezing conditions. Winter is definitely here. And whoa, looking at that there, that's telling me there's a lot of high winds unless that switched me back up to a higher layer. Let's take a look here. We've got the winds. Yeah, I've got them at the surface. So, whew, that is brutal. We're looking at 40-knot winds over here in Greer, Spartansburg. I believe that's South Carolina, if I'm not mistaken. And it's hard to tell from way out here. Let's zoom in just a little bit. RNs. What we got up here? Spartansburg. Yeah, because here's Asheville, North Carolina right here. So yeah, that's Spartansburg, and you are getting some wicked winds. 30, gusting to 35, 40 here. That is just amazing high winds. So probably not a good time to be flying there. That's getting above a lot of people's capabilities from what I can see. Zooming back out here, taking a look further on down. Let's see how Florida's doing here. Flight training capital of the world. You've got about 20 knot winds there, 25. They are really going there out of the northwest. Also, you notice the pockets of marginal. We got some rock hard, solid, low IFR right through here with some horrible winds. Stay out of the skies at that point. If you don't have to fly, don't fly. Moving west here, again, we know that we got this garbage all up here. Now, the winds are relatively light on the surface. Let's take it up just a little bit higher on the winds. We'll pop up to the layers again. And let's take a look at the winds around 3,000 feet, somewhere close to that. All right, 3,000 feet. Now let's start right up there in the northwest. You got about 30 knots out of the south there. Very different winds depending on where you're located. That's only 15 here, 30 here to the south-southwest. Further on down, 30 knots again, generally out of the south in this area. Here we just, around the pressure systems and everything's kind of just looking disorganized on the winds. 5 knots here out of the west, not a whole lot. 5 knots out of the south, just a few miles to the east of that one. We got 25 down here, so you got your winds, especially coming around some of these high pressure systems. You can see where the high pressure system is just by these winds aloft indicators. And remember, the side where the flag is pointing at where the wind's coming from. One long bar is 10, a short bar is 5, so you got 15, 10 here, circling around. Also of note are a few TFRs to point out. This one along the border. Keep an eye out on that. I believe that's the West Texas to New Mexico border with Mexico. And a little bit of what they might call the border crisis going on there. So check the NOTAMs there. Make sure you don't go flying into any TFRs. And looking to the east here, we got winds out of the east at 45 knots over here. Moving into, 50 knots out of the north. This is not winds that you normally would see at 3,000 feet. So where is that close to? Lynchburg, Virginia. Got winds out of the north-northeast at 50 knots. Same over here, close to Richmond, Virginia. So this is amazing. Look at these. Man, that is really big time. That's 65 knots out of the northeast, and mainly north, as you can see it. Pretty incredible here for winds. Out to sea on this side, you got the winds out of the west-southwest at 60, 60. Man, those winds are just cramming in around that low pressure system. So that's what you're seeing, circulation around the low, and that again is causing lots of problems. All right, hey, make sure you like and subscribe. This is a new channel. Going to try to make it a daily thing. It'd normally be early in the morning. Still working on it, so this is kind of the pre-launch for live, or not live, but your daily aviation weather, your daily AvWX. All right, good talking to you. Have a great day. Keep the sunny side up and the greasy side down. We'll talk to you later.